Hello YouTube, Master Waffleness here, going to show you a game of Shogun Total War 2. But before we get that started, I'm going to show you my avatar I just made since I got into Silver League. And here we go. Welcome, Mr. Walrus. Now here is Mr. Walrus. He is my new badass general I made. Originally my general was called Mr. Badass or something, but then I was like, let's make him into a walrus, since walruses are badass and all. So as you can see, he's decked out in awesome teal colors and some pink flowers. I mean, who wants to, actually that's purple, but who wants to mess with a fucking samurai in teal and pink flowers? No one. If I saw this guy, I'd run the fuck away, because he's a fucking badass. Well, badass walrus. I mean, he has the skull of awesomeness, the hat of justice, the wings of bossitude, and pink flowers of death. I mean, come on. This walrus man is the awesome. Of the awesome. Of the awesome, of the awesome, of the awesome walrus clan. Ever. Anyway, so the walrus are generally very, very, very peaceful creatures. They don't like to fight a lot, but then one day, Mr. Walrus's entire clan was attacked by a rampaging horde of polar bears, and then he's devoted his entire life to setting up a new army using human slaves and conquering back territories the polar bears stole from them in Japan. Since Japanese are all famed for their porn, he must save the land of the hentai. Well, not land of hentai, but save all of his hentai, since he's addicted to that shit. So yeah, he has a real porn problem. And I made a new character today, just recently. I found out that I had enough experience, so now I'm in the silver chunks. Anyway, so you're gonna notice me playing with a lot cheaper, weaker units, but all in all, I think that makes the game just even more funner. So, we're just gonna show you a game right now, since I'm done showing off my awesome avatar. 5-2, let's go. Strategy without tactics is Strategy without tactics is the slowest route to victory. Tactics without strategy is the noise before defeat. Very, very wise. So we're gonna play on tranquil streams against my opponent, who is Chu W. Ryan. Now, the thing about the thing about tranquil streams is that there is a giant river cutting apart both of the land masses, and there are three ways to get across them by shallow waters. And generally what you want to do is control one of these land masses, especially the one with the sword dojo, because that gives you increased attack. The other one gives you increased armor because it has a workshop on it. And you want to either control the workshop or the sword dojo on this map. You don't want your opponent to control your sword dojo or your workshop. Fights like these can be very hectic, and especially when crossing the shallow waters, it becomes very, very, very anxious, and anxiety kind of sets in, because at any moment your opponent can attack you in the shallow water, and since he'll have increased speed and you won't, you're gonna be fucked in the shallow water. So crossing over these shallow waters over here is generally a very, very risky decision. But if your opponent's like all the way across the map, then it's fine. Anyway, so here's my army. I have one unit of Naginata Samurai with 4 upgrades, 2 units of Naginata Samurai with no upgrades, another unit of Naginata Samurai with 4 upgrades, another unit of Naginata Samurai with 5 upgrades. I also have 1 Nodachi with 3 upgrades, 2 Naginata Warrior Monks, which I call Big Mac and Monk Sushi. One has 5 upgrades, one has 8 upgrades. Very, very powerful. Actually, 9 upgrades make them even more powerful. 2 Naginata Attendants with no upgrades whatsoever. Another one over here to capture the workshop, so I can get that increased armor. I have... God, all my cav are bunched up like this. Makes it really annoying to see all the stats. I have 1 Katana Cav with 7 upgrades. My guys are being shot at. I have 2 Naginata Warrior Monk Cav with 2 upgrades each, and I have 1 Fire Cav unit with 9 upgrades in total. So my army is very heavily upgraded. Let's see my opponents. He has 2 Bow Warrior Monks. One is called 4th Bow, one is called 3rd Bow. Each have 4 upgrades. 2 Matchlock Samurai with no upgrades whatsoever. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Naginata Samurai One has 4 upgrades, one has 5 upgrades, one has 4 upgrades, another has 4 upgrades, another has 2 upgrades, and another has 4 upgrades again. So right now over here, he's gonna try and shoot his shoot my Naginata attendants and try to go after my general and my army over here with his bow warrior monks, since he has superior range and the ability to use the bow warrior monks effectively by running away, shooting with their long range. He'll be able to slow down and weaken my forces, but my meat shield does pay off and is able to absorb most of the attacks. Over here, I try to find a way to flank around at his guys, but then I don't notice all of a sudden. 3, 2, 1, here we come. The cav just coming out of nowhere, charging down the hill, crying out Banzai, and just completely wreck my guys. My walrus slave men cannot fight off these attackers. The Yari cav has an increased charge bonus. All these Yari cav are upgraded 5 times each, making them really deadly. They have a very, very high charge bonus on my cav over here, wrecking my cav. I send over my fire cav to try to circle around and attack his Yari cav, which does pay off, as the counter charge is able to really weaken his forces. Over here, I'm charging forward all my guys. My Naginata attendants taking most of the brunt of the force, and they're gonna all charge forward and attack. All my Naginata samurai are gonna charge forward. My Naginata warrior monks, I'm gonna have no units of reserve right now. Over here, I do charge forward some of my Naginata units, and my Nodachis are doing nothing but watching. What are you doing, Nodachis? Charge forward, attack or something. Oh my god, I don't even notice this, and they're doing absolutely nothing. I put down some war cries over here with my Naginata warrior monks to get some good morale hits, and all of a sudden, I'm done taking out his cav, so I charge forward at the back of his entire army. What was over here? God, I had a brain fart. And I'm just annihilating all of his dudes at the back. He has no reserves like me, so I'm just plowing through his bow warrior monks. I'm plowing through his matchlocks, destroying the only advantage he had in this game, which was his range bonus. The rest of his army is not as heavily upgraded as mine, and his units will go flying. My infantry units have already begun destroying his infantry units. It's only a matter of time before my guys actually attack. My Nodachis finally decided to move, but don't do anything. I don't even think my Nodachis even got, well, they got 10 kills, so that's pretty good. So right now my Nodachis are wrecking the guys that are running away, and this is pretty much a giant cleanup crew, and the game is over. I was able to capture the workshop during that entire craziness. The game was very, how would you say, fast-paced. Well, not fast-paced, but it was very, very short. But that's because he just lost really quickly. I mean, I have to give it to my opponent. I loved his choice in units. His bow warrior monks outranged my guys completely, so he would have wrecked me if he had stayed or did a better job at protecting them. Because at that game, his only advantage was his range units. If he used his matchlocks more effectively, he could have wrecked my guys with their amazing damage, but he didn't use them effectively. I don't even think they got any kills in that game at all. Maybe even like 10 or 11 kills. And once all of his units did attack and he had no reserves, all of his ranged units were vulnerable to my charge, and he was done for. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching my lovely game. I will be posting up longer games, don't worry. I'm not the type that posts up only shorter games. Tune in for more videos, and I'll see you guys next time.